Yeah, we back. Turn it up just a little.
Good day, everybody. My name is Red Earth, and today I'm showcasing a Temur ramp deck that's borrowing some technology from the Elementals list. Sam, say hello. So as I yeah, there he is. As I'm going over the list, I'll kind of showcase what the purpose of the deck is and what we're trying to do. So what we are attempting to do is go from 2 mana to 4 and 5 mana and to a top end of Aurora Awakener. Um, so we'll show the tools here. We got Shimmer Wild's Growth and Ashling Rekindled. Both of these let us hit 4 on turn 3 if all goes well. Shimmer Wilds is a little harder to interact with than Ashling, so that's rarely going to be turned off. Not only that, the Elementals list uses the other 2-drop 2/2, so both of those are easy to kill, whereas this deck uses an enchantment. And this also changes your land into the color that you choose. So not only is it color fixing, but allows us to up our vivid count for Aurora Awakener, which I'll get to in a moment. But the ability to discard and draw the filtering is kind of nice. The ability to ramp up to the higher tier creatures, that's also nice. We have here 4 of Fresh Start. This strips abilities from creatures, makes it -5, -0, and in general, it will take care of almost all early game threats, and that's really what we want to do. We don't need to kill everything, but if we can deal with creatures until we manage to get on top of the curve where our threats outpace their threats, that's really where we want to be. I have 3 Frost Cliff Siege. Now this card is phenomenal in this deck. I initially started with 3. I find every time I don't have it in play, I want it in play. Every time I cut it in the sideboard, I feel like I usually shouldn't do that. So I'm really not sure, but 3 or 4 is certainly correct to play in this deck. Almost every single time we're going to be choosing +1/+0, Trample, and Haste. It is a huge enabler in this deck, both by being a red and blue permanent, giving haste to everything and power. Also, extra copies could go on to draw a card, but you'll find that your opponents will often be dead before you have the opportunity to draw many cards. Let's see here. We got Vibrance. I am absolutely in love with this card. Not only as an early game drop to remove creatures, you can also find your land drops, gain life. Against control, you can find your Mistrise Village or your Quarry Mountain Monastery super early, usually before their counters are online. And they shouldn't be playing counters, and if I ever get the opportunity, Vibrance will show them why, because if I manage to resolve one, I'm grabbing this, and then for a 2-mana tax on myself, their counters will never do anything again. And then as a 5-drop, the card is phenomenal. You get a 4/4. You get to effectively draw a card, gain 2 life, and deal 3 damage. Like, it just literally does everything. Quantum Riddler is both a 5-drop and a 2-drop. So this is really what our curve looks like, to be honest. But, yeah, this is 4. But Quantum Riddler here, you can warp it out for 2 early to draw a card. Once you have Frostcliff Siege into play, not only can you warp it out, you can also smack them for 5 in the air because of the haste and the +1/+0, and Trample. Trample's also a super relevant evasion piece in this deck, as hopefully you'll see today. Bloomvine Regent. I ended up putting this into the build late. This build isn't settled. I've only been testing it for about a week. But I really like this card. Not only does it allow us to draw up to our higher mana cost by casting the Claim Territory on 3, it puts an extra card in our hand that we can discard to Ashling, or just continue making our land drops. But as a 5-mana 4/5 that gives us life, that is often the buffer enough that we need to survive and just pull out and go over the top. I've also, in testing, had some shenanigans going on with Dragonback Assault, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Anti-Casual Vestige. So this card is a great 4-drop. It draws you a card, which can trigger Riddler. It can put a permanent into play, which will usually ramp you 1. It will throw a Shimmer Wilds into play. You can cast you a Frostcliff Siege and then put them into Warp. And then just like the Quantum Riddler, Frostcliff Siege plus Anti-Casual can smack them for 8 with Haste and Trample. I used to have Winter Night Stories in this deck, but I find that I just have so many cards overall because of Vibrance, Riddler, Regent. I just feel like I've got so many, and the deck mulligans super, super well. And the Warp cards give you extra reach later on. But yeah, so this guy's humongous. He smacks for 1,000,000, and if he gets removed, he puts another permanent into play and draws you a card. There's lots to love about this card. I want to see if there's other shells that can be using this, but I think this card is slightly slept on in the format. Aurora Awakener. So this guy, he might look kind of goofy, might look like just a limited card, but as long as you have a Frostcliff Siege into play, this card can be fairly bonkers, because not only is it an 8-power Trample Haste, but it also throws multiple of your other creatures. Some of them are quite large. It can throw Fresh Starts into play because this is a permanent. It can throw Shimmer Wild's Growths. It can hit itself, which continues to chain into more of them. And it can give you kind of a one-turn kill type play. But especially against control decks or the slower mid-range decks, just the ability for a 7 mana puts like 2 to 3 threats into play. It's absolutely phenomenal. If for some reason I have this in the deck and Dragonback Assault in play, it will hit everything for 3, and then put every single land turns into a dragon, which hopefully will also have Trample and Haste. I really can't emphasize enough how important Frostcliff Siege is in this deck. But yeah, no, that's the main deck. The mana base, it's not something too fancy. It probably looks very similar to my last list, except this one, the colors matter a lot more. So we've got Bivouac, makes all 3 of our main colors, and we need 2 of each fairly frequently. That's mostly what we're going to be seeking out. We've got, because green is super important, not only for Shimmer Wild's growth, but for Vibrance to find another color, and that's why we have the green-focused fetch lands, or not fetch lands, sorry, the shock lands. You can run more shock lands if you want, but there's a limit to how much self-damage I want to take with a fairly aggressive mid-rangey format. I've got a Singleton Riverpire Verge that allows me to find the 2 colors with an untapped land. Bunch of basics in here. I've got 4 Forest, which is slightly higher than the deck would normally want, but if you use the auto land mixer or whatever, I think I upped the Forest slightly just so Bloom Vine has a higher chance of hitting too, should we need it. Then the single Quarry Mountain Monastery, single Mistrized Ridge. If you're playing these colors, you're probably going to want one of each of them, because this just effectively draws you a card. This one makes your stuff uncounterable. It's all good stuff. Now I'll cover the sideboard. My sideboard plan isn't really put together, so I'm going to be more or less winging it, to be honest. But I've got Cryo Shatters in here. There's probably some argument to either have more Cryo Shatters, less fresh start, or vice versa. But it's essentially the 1 mana version of Fresh Start, but it doesn't remove any abilities. But it just gives us an early way to slow them down. And that's all we really need to do, is just slow people down, unless they're trying to go on top of us. We should usually pull out the late game. I tossed in 2 of these guys. I got eaten alive by an Ugin in Osiris's list. There might be the occasional thing that you want to counter. I really don't like counters in this format, but this is also a permanent. So that's pretty good. Just like Fresh Start can be a blue permanent if you don't have Frostcliff for Awakener, this is another blue permanent that can just be in play. Essentially, you just want non-green permanents in play to jack this guy up. You've got Slagstorm over here that deals 3 damage to everything. It's a sweeper, early game sweeper. That's pretty self-explanatory. If I'm putting this in, there's a very good chance I'm going to be removing the Ashlings because I don't want to go through all this effort and remove my stuff. We're going to lean more into the control version of this list. I've got another Bloom Vine Regent into here. It's probably for the aggressive lists where I'm going to be on the back foot. Having multiples of these in play allows you to gain a lot of life. And not only that, it blocks the red warp dragon. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's usually the top end of a lot of the red lists. And this blocks it quite nicely. We've got some wistfulness sitting here. If anything isn't working particularly well, we can board it in. It's usually just going to be, though, the way to exile artifacts and enchantments in case the opponent is heavy on those. Dragonback Assaults, these are extra sweepers, and also an uncounterable way to make 4/4 dragons. So for playing control, these are probably going to come in. And then probably the loosest card in the list. Initially, I had 7 Sire, or 7, what is that? Sire the 7 Deaths or something like that? Let me see here. Yeah, so initially I had this guy in play, or in my sideboard, and the idea is that he would stall out aggro, but I felt that if I couldn't attack with Frostcliff Siege and they had enough evasion, I'm never gonna be able to do it. So instead I put in big old dumb Palaka Worm. So the idea is that if I can get up to 7, I can slam him in play. That gives me a big burst of health, and usually a 7/7 Trampler is really hard to deal with for these aggressive decks. I'm not sure if it's the right play. Maybe some early game Cryo Shatters are the way to go. It's just something that I've been trying out. I've been finding incremental life gain to be super important. And yeah, that's where I'm at. The last thing to note that I haven't mentioned yet, so Shimmerwild's Growth. This lets you enchant a land and turn it to any color. Oh, maybe I mentioned it earlier. But yeah, just remember that once you have your colors online, feel free to choose black or white to gain additional colors for Aurora Awakener, because digging 1 card deeper can make you that much more explosive. And if you have the option to, there isn't a lot of land destruction in the format, but the land destruction that does exist, typically, it's non-basic. So if you can put it on a basic land, that's where you want to stick your Shimmerwilds. Either way, this is what I've got for this week's tournament. It looks like we've got 20 players registered at the moment, so it should be a decent turnout. It should be fun. So I'll catch you guys all in the next round, and thank you very much for watching. Take care. All right, we are starting round 1 of a 5-round tournament. Oh my god. For a weekly, that's insane. We're going to mulligan. That's an easy mull. What I like about this deck is it mulligans pretty well. We've got 3 lands, some interaction. I'm going to keep this. What am I throwing back? We're keeping that, keeping Shimmerwilds. Yes, absolutely. Good luck, have fun indeed. I think I'll get rid of the tapped land. I'm not super stoked about that, but I can always Shimmerwilds if I don't draw the land. And if I do, I can do that in Riddler if I don't mess up my mana. Okay, well, I'm certainly not going to mess this up. So we got green, red, we've got all colors that I'm going to put this on. We're going to have green, green, red, red. So that satisfies that. So we're going to click this on blue. If I had a guaranteed other color, I would put it on black or white, but this is what we're doing for now. Please don't counterspell me. Okay, we're playing against slivers or dragons or something like that. Doesn't matter. Getting some lands. Passing it back. Mutable Explorer. This guy's probably on some slivers stuff. That's my assumption. I can anti-casual, dropping Frostcliff in. I'm not under that much pressure at the moment. I could fresh start, but I don't really want to. I want my cards off Riddler, but then again, if I just put the Riddler into play, you can't remove it, you can't block. I can Frostcliff. No, I want my cards. Put them on the back foot. Yeah, there it is. Okay, 2. We'll warp this in and see what happens. Could put that into play, yeah. Take a shock. Put him in the air for 10. And threaten him with 10 for next turn. Kind of scared to leave that stuff in play, but this is what I was saying in the deck tech. You hit really hard with this deck. So I probably want some sweepers. Wistfulness wouldn't be too bad because I don't know what top end this deck would have other than that. Oh, okay. Do you guys have haste? Oh, I might just be dead then. Yes, I am dead. Okay. Thrumming Hive Pool. Okay, well, then that is in fact coming in. Slag Storm is coming in. Cryo Shatter's coming in. Dragon Back is coming in. I don't need to explode onto the battlefield. We'll remove that. I'm sweeping the battlefield. I don't need them. Another one of those would probably be okay. Anti-casual Vestige. I don't need that many of them. In fact, I can cut one, put that guy back in. Frostcliff. I can ambush a creature, because all those guys are small, and then leave it in play for the Hive Pool. But then he could have it back against me. It always feels incorrect to cut these, though. I feel cutting one is probably where we want to be. The fact that he can clone my huge dudes is less than ideal. Put it back in. See how this goes. Gotta respect the fact that his guys have haste. That's the actual scary part of the card. The double strike is decent, but... Well, I think I have to mulligan this. I have early game interaction, but literally no gas after that. This looks significantly better. Keep 6. I'm gonna throw this guy back. I'm gonna take it slow. Try to bait them into a slag storm. Assuming I have the time, but we'll see. Fresh start, huh? I could take 2. Red, red, green, green, blue, blue, green, green, red, red. I'll put red on this. Oh, Mox Jasper, that's neat. Orb? I guess it hits Changeling, but I guess it doesn't matter what you pick. Blue, red. We will just grab a Corey, because I have an island. Resolve. Trample and haste. Kangaroo, he's just having fun. That's funny. Well, that one there is the problem. Hive pool. Might need to fresh start some things. Red, blue. We'll put this on black now. So I got blue, blue. Second one. Well, that's likely gonna kill me. Oh, okay, well, that helps. One down. Makes an extra mana. Let's see. Very nice. Well, I lose. Cloning my guy, giving a double strike and haste. This is just not the matchup for me. Haven't been attacked on this angle before. We'll just let them do their thing. But yeah. So another Wistfulness would help. This deck just has no... I don't think I've seen anybody on a list like this. I've seen people build lists like this, but... Oh, good game. Alright, everybody, we are starting round 2. We lost round 1 to Changeling Sliver Pile, and it was pretty good. You know, if you draw the Hive Stone, you're facing against Luigi, our resident Simic player. Let's see if he's still on it this week. This hand is not terrible. Stuff into Vibrance. I'm on the play. I can kill something on turn 1, turn 2. Ramp into... Yeah, it's okay. I'll give it a shot. I've had better hands, but... Chemosymbic Might must die. Not dealing with that shit. It's got a flash creature? I don't remember any flash creatures. Counterspell? Oh, sure. Okay. Just playing it slow. Can live with that. I don't think I've ever seen him play this slow, though. But maybe he wants to keep stuff up in case I'm interacting. The Void. Yeah. That is enemy number 1. Let's just throw out the Riddler. Ooh, okay. Can Vestige next turn and throw out Fresh Start. I know he's going to be going hard on the Surak plan. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite there. Let's warp this out. And let's attack. Alright, let's just see if we can kill him now. Nice, we got game 1. This is the matchup that I'm constantly having in my sights. Cryo Shatter, Slag Storms, Dragonback Assault. I don't need to go up over the top. I don't need that. Regent. Actually, going over the top is probably how I went, but I think I want to keep the Vestiges though. Regents. I think I do want some Awakeners. Maybe I'll cut one of these, cut two of these. Awakener, Awakener. Down one. Put in one more Vestige. That's his game plan. He wants a lot of giant growth style effects and hexproof style effects. This hand is miserable. This hand is a lot better. I think I will apprehensively get rid of the region. So you can make a mana out of it, then it's gone. I need the mana available to hit. If he just goes Ouroborite, I need the ability to fresh start it immediately. Which means he's saving the mana. Damn it. Okay, well. Ouroborite. Oh. Or a 5-drop? Why would you catch that? I'm not casting it now. Ollie has a Spell Pierce. I now have him covered. Oh, Ollie has a Spell Pierced. I had him covered. We'll draw a card. Pass it back. Second one. Oh. Fuck. Is all I could say to that. Draw a card. Yeah. Put this into play. Green, green. Grab that, not that it matters. Sure, okay. Yeah, you win. 3 Ouroboros with protection. Ugh, okay. Uh-huh. I don't need vestiges. When I win, I gotta win now. Regents. Yeah, I just don't need vestiges at all. We're gonna get rid of those, put that back in so I can ramp up. And we will see how it goes. Oh, Luigi, you cheeky boy. Play first. Need to mulligan that. Too much Not good. Do I mulligan again? 2 cards don't exist, so I'm already mulled to 5. Would I keep this 5? Not happy about it. Okay, I can work with this. Not happy either, but keep 5. Throw you away. Throw you away. And pray. And a War Elves. I need a land. An untapped land. A succulent land, if you will. Okay. Genomorph. Oh, that is, give or take, a huge problem. Take a bajillion. If I can somehow stabilize. That's not the way to do it. So we're going to hope for no Ouroboros. Hope for no super keen interaction, and I have to rip an untapped land. That is a whole lot of ifs. But if I can get Dragon back down, and there's no Ouroboros, and no counterspell, I can probably live through a single pump spell. Maybe. Well, this doesn't look like Windmill Slam. Wistfulness. Interesting. Oh, to eat my Frost Cliffs? Sure. Well, an untapped land doesn't take me across the finish line. But it gets me closer. Huh. Untap land. Well, that unironically kills me. So... are there any outs? I probably have to do Little Riddler. No, that's not it. Alright, 0-2. Cool. See you in the next round. Alrighty. Starting round 3, we're down 2 matches. I have no idea what my opponent's on. This is my first time fighting them. Hopefully my deck behaves a little better this round, but if not, then we're going to be learning some hard lessons. We'll mulligan this. This seems playable. Throw one of these back. Do I throw one of these back? It gives me somewhere to go. Yeah, we'll try this. They're also teamwork. Okay. Well, we're going to be taking some damage anyway, so let's just deal with that now. Got a lot of the life gain lands. Red, blue, green, red, green. So red, red, green, green, blue, blue. So the colors are covered. But if I want to cast Ashling this turn, they might have Counterspell, which could be very annoying. So I can just take this a little slower. What do you think about this? Cool. I wanted to cast, put that into play, red, red, blue, green. We'll just put red out for now. Throw out Ashling. I can pay for any 2-mana counting spells. I don't really know what they're doing yet. Kill my guy. Okay. Sure. Well, we'll discard this. Seems like they're playing control. A wistfulness. Oh. Sure. Full value wistfulness. Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 5. We'll just play out a raw vestige. See what they think about that. So I probably don't want a Dragon Fire or a Dragon Back Assault. Keep that in my sideboard. They got main deck Wistfulness. Not a lot of creatures, it seems. They do end up playing a lot of creatures. Can probably rely on Slagstorm. Ooh. Oh, they're doing some memey stuff like scary. Well, let's see what we can pop out here. Gonna counter this? Sweet. Do I attack? To let them trade. Yeah. I could just Wistfulness, break that off. Be too late to get the trigger. But then they have their 7/3. So it looks like they're Temur Elementals. They're just taking a different direction than the direct port list. This could also be like Ball Lightning, shoot me twice in the face. Kind of hard to do with that mana base, but who knows. I'd love it if he tries to get the Wistfulness back by attacking with the champion. Because I don't think, like, it's got that ability removed. Okay. So you're trying to kindle the inner flame combo me or something like that. Well, it might be dead to some warp stuff, but we will see. Not super exciting. Oh, cool, we'll take it. That's a sweep. I don't think he had lost there, but I will certainly take what I can get. Looks vulnerable to Slagstorm. Still think I'm keeping Fresh Start. Even with the Wistfulness. Do I? Yeah, because then I also have Frostcliff, Shimmer Wilds. I got a million targets for it, so what am I going to do? What do I sideboard though? Slagstorm's in, Ashling out. And they've got the Dragonfire, they certainly have got the Vibrance. Just do that. Regions are okay. Yeah. See what happens. I can Shimmer Wilds into Anti-Causal, I can Vibrance. Looks about as good as a hand could probably get. Sure. Ooh, Slagstorm, okay. Well, we're definitely going to start this off with a red. Ashling. Opts to discard nothing. I'm going to aggressively take 2. I'm not keen on leaving the Ashling alive. But enemy anti-causal cooking allows me to ramp another one and draw another card. Red, red, green, green, blue, blue. Could just nuke that. No, because I can nuke it with the other ones. We'll put this on here. Oh, looks like it's time stamping. Interesting. Worth noting. So they're at 4. Four mana for an elemental. I'll take one. And nothing. Well, I accept your offer of nothing. Red. Red, red. Eh. Eh. Vibrance. Cast it. What say you? Nothing. Shoot your friend. Sure. Grab Quarry Mountain. Make it some red mana. Champion. What do I want to do? Will I trade with it? I mean, yeah, I suppose. You think about that? Chance of you having dive down is decent. So why don't I Shimmer Wild's Growth here. Put it on white. A black permanent, a white permanent. I wish I had the red permanent, but the red doesn't matter that much. Put this into play. End my turn. Draw a card. Very cool. We'll slip this bad boy into play. And you're not going to be diving down that. Drat. Okay. Play. Nothing. Let's attack. boogie woogie. Sure. Take one. Play this guy out. Play a land tapped. I've been noggled. Sure, I'll block, whatever. Let's attack. Play my homie out. Play land. And my turn. So I don't have enough to activate this. That's 4, but soon I'll be able to start getting my extra cards. Are we noggling? Oh. Cool. Let's take it 7. I'll play this down, see what's on the top. A land. I'll play it next turn. Let's do a little warping. I am in no rush. Sam is saying hello. If I don't let him in, he'll say. Come in, my orange cat. Champion of the path. Giving champion. Cool. Yes, Sam. Okay. Put this down. Let's attack this guy. See what he does. Oh, you're at 3, so let's each take some damage. Sure. Not what I chose, though. Good game. We actually got a win on the board. See you next round. Alright, we are starting round 4. My opponent has a ball lightning on their text box, or their deck box, so that's a little sussy baka. Kinda scared. This would be an okay 6, so I'll just keep it as is. Yup. You're getting redded out. Oh boy. I'll take 2 now. Might even be on Hitsegu. Yeah. Resolve. Enjoy your 1/1 that you get to keep forever. So scared. Take this out now. Four mana. Shock the face. I am at 11. Green. We will make some blue. Okay. So are the Unhitseeker. If they are, I just die now. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not good. Dead. Yeah. Suga. Yep. Okay. So the top end literally doesn't matter. Just surviving matters. Anti-casual, get out of here. Frostcliff Siege, get out of here. We are just a full-on control deck. And in that case, do I want to keep Ashling? Ashling does block. Ashling blocks and lets me cast the higher stuff. I'll accept this. Play first. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on this type of list. Okay, I can go 3 into 5. Red, kill something. I don't have any of my early game interaction except Vibrance, but let's see. We will just do this for now. Having the Vibrance in play will probably be better. It's like a Bloom Vine that puts me down for a turn. Oh. No. Changed my mind. If Ball Lightnings me, I can Vibrance back up. Nope. Effigy, I'll take 2 more. Goes back to hand. Not getting burned. Interesting. Okay. Blue, if I want to cast that. I've already got green, so let's do blue. Pass the turn. I wasn't shot in the face. Is that the only one? Okay, you can stop. Takes money to make money. Ow. This an elemental? It is. So in case he's got the champion, I have to kill it. So I'll just do that now. Quarry Mountain lets me keep ripping. This mitt full of spells is scaring me a bit. Bloom Vine will be helpful, hopefully. A Ball Lightning would take me to 8, so I can't get hit Sigurd. It's probably a little difficult to hit Sigurd me at the moment, unless he's got Spell, but then any healing could disrupt it. And I do have healing. Okay, setting up for Hitsugu. So I'm going to say no. Put this down past the turn. No attacks. Am I dead? Okay. Pay 2. Ashley. I'm gonna ditch the Slagstorm. I'd very much like that in play. One more turn. Did I dodge? It's got a lot of lands. Oh, baby. Auto pay. Green. The worm. Am I dead? Could still be slow rolling. Nope. Playland. Things are looking alright. Sure. Could pump it up twice. Go for it. Sure. That was, oh, it's his turn. Okay. Very cool. We got blue. Yeah, let's transform Ashley. Get rid of Ashley. Play this. Warp this. 4. So that's 8, 9, 12. Pick any land, doesn't matter. Cool. Alright, we are 1-1. Just trying to live. This is a brutal hand. That does nothing. Slagstorm doesn't even do that much. Fire Shatter sort of has text. This is better though. What would I get rid of though? Ashling helps me cast that. Cryo Shatter, I guess? Because Ashling can block. And if he uses a burn spell on Ashling, at least it's not on my face. I don't have blue. I would have a bunch of green. I ideally want to cast this, not... I'm going to be taking a lot of damage from that guy, though. Bivouac. Pyromancer. Ow. Alright, well this would be a moment where they would probably kill the Ashling, so let's give them the choice to try. I really want that Palaka Worm. Fresh Start is medium, so... But it has text. Firebrand, yep. I'll trade for both of those. Or whatever variant of 2 cards you want to do. Two. Well, if he only attacks for 2, he's trying to hit and right me. Sure. Okay. Everybody? Yeah. Okay. We'll let you bring me to 9. So I've got blue, red. I don't have green. I could have green on any plane, but this is green. Put that tapped past the turn. We're still in a spooky life total. Because 2/3 damage spells. Or Mog Fanatics. Sure. Okay, about 5. Well, you know, as they say, not dead yet. Four mana. Absorb the most amount I can. Let's 6. Uses burn on this. It's not at my face. Not. Okay. Just looking at my creatures. Okay, 2 more damage and I'm dead. I can't put that into play. Not ideal. So I'll just put this into play. It's got a big butt. Does not lie. It's 100,000 things. That could come into play and kill me. Any burn spell. Literally any burn spell. That's any burn spell. Damn. Lost again. Alright, see you guys in the next room. Alright, let's do a little post-mortem. We ended up going 2-3, so not a stellar score. It seemed like our worst matchups, if I recall correctly, were hyper-aggressive matchups. I mean, Luigi drawing 3 Ouroboros back to back was brutal. There was a couple times, like I was talking about how you taking the extra damage from the Shocklands would add up, and I recall 2 times that taking the extra 2 ended up killing me. Once against, was it Luigi? Yeah, I believe it was Luigi because I wanted to cast the Dragonback Assault when he had the Wistfulness in play, and I just took lethal with that. I think this list has potential. I'm not sure on the numbers, so let's talk about what worked. Fresh Start, loved this card. Shimmer Wild's Growth, it does its job. The only problem is that you're taking turn 2 off and you're not really impacting the board. And you're kind of ramping into things that aren't impacting the board until another turn thereafter. Same thing goes for Ashling. Ashling was okay, she's decent, you know. She doesn't really block, but I mean, she doesn't have a stellar body to begin with. Frostcliff's Siege is good for 1 hit killing your opponent. As it turns out, if your opponent just goes Authority to consoles, I only had just now seen the line that you can just draw cards and keep pressuring your control opponents that way. So that's good to have and not to control, but I think this deck is kind of decent against control anyways. I might jam another Mistrise Village into this list to get above being minorly disrupted off of a field. Vibrance is brilliant at all times. Regent's been okay. Ramping up on 3 mana, hitting the... It does basically what the other rampers do. It just on turn 4, we're putting a 5-drop down. This is technically included in that because you're usually putting either Shimmer Wilds into play, setting up a Frost Cliff, putting a land into play, etc. Awakener was usually pretty bonkers when you can get it down. Hitting several permanents at once is, as it turns out, pretty good, and then having a 7/7 trample body with extra things. It's quite explosive. The sideboard is kind of a mess. Palaka Worm, although it can pull us above the highly aggressive decks, it takes a bajillion turns to get out. Dragonback Assault has been decent. What never came into play but has happened in testing is that Bloomvine Regent gains life off of dragons coming into play. So with Dragonback Assault, you can actually like scale your life total super high as you're just playing lands, which is nice. Wistfulness, I'd probably put a fourth one in. Turns out there's quite a bit more artifacts and enchantments running around the format than I thought. At least in this event, anyways. Bloomvine Regent, I mean, yeah, this is probably just the better Palaka Worm for this list. Glenelendra Guardian turned out to be pretty good the one time I put it into play. I might do more testing around this card. I don't recall if I boarded in Cryo Shatter against anybody. Oh, I think I did against Luigi. But his draws were very anti-Cryo Shatter. Typically, he opens on Hemosymbic Might, and then this card is great against it. But what this card really sucks against is Land War Elves. But there is an alternative that you can use. There is a blue aura. Not Sleep Magic. That's not in the format. This one here. So it taps the creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's on-tap step, but they can untap it for 5. And if they're spending 5 to untap one of their early game creatures, things are going probably pretty well. It doesn't shut down Ouroboros at all. Whereas Cryo Shatter can technically shut down an Ouroboros because it becomes a 2/4, then it becomes a -3, and then if it ever taps, it just dies. Or is dealt damage for that matter. But yeah, I don't know. This list seems okay. I'm not sure if the performance is necessarily indicative of the deck's overall strength, but the numbers need to be adjusted. I'm playing 25 lands. I'm not sure if that's the correct number, but usually in these lists where I'm going big, I like to play heavier on lands. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the list. Other than that, I'll see you next week, presumably for whichever event's going on there. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.